Sawyer Ragster outlasted Francois Martel in round 3 at Circuit of the Americas to become the 3rd different winner this season. The trend is now set. Will we see the 4th different winner tonight, or will one of the top 3 as we get ready for round 4 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge up next? Our venue for this evening is the virtual Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Founded in 1962, Mid-Ohio has played host to a massive list of events from IMSA, NASCAR trucks, to IndyCar and everything in between. We've opted for the layout with the chicane tonight, so our drivers will have a couple extra corners in there to make it interesting. 15 in total, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and like Circuit of the Americas, we have another counterclockwise track here in Lexington in Ohio. Our format for this evening is as follows. We are on track now for open qualifying, which will set the grid for our 45-minute feature race. All the cars running a fixed setup with traction control and anti-lock brakes disabled. We have 7 gallons of fuel capped to begin the race, so we will see a mandatory pit stop for each driver. The inaugural season of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge continues tonight on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to round number 4 in Ohio tonight. Our series is proudly brought to you in association with Woven by Toyota. Toyota's vision for a mobility society and the Toyota mobility concept focus on extending the value of the car, expanding mobility into new realms, and integrating mobility with social systems. In line with this framework, Woven will help Toyota to develop next-generation cars, including advanced BEVs, and to realize a mobility society in which everyone can move freely, happily, and safely. For more information on Woven's role in Toyota's vision for mobility, visit woven.toyota today. Our coverage all season also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Our cameras for the entire season for rallycross and sports cars brought to you by TrackCams22.com. And Justin, we're in round number 4. We had round 3 at Circuit of the Americas last week, and this will likely be the least practiced track for most of the drivers this season. What are your thoughts coming into Mid-Ohio if you're a driver?
Oh, yeah, I've got some mic problems. There we go. Queued up now. Sorry about that. As a driver, I would be focused on deleting the last race from my mind, much like a goaltender in sports has to move on quickly from a goal. Circuit of the Americas required so much focus. It's sure to have taken a toll on the field in some capacity, and the drivers who are able to reset quickly and begin practicing Mid-Ohio are the ones who are going to succeed tonight, Josh.
We for sure only had the week between the races. Normally the off week is an open practice. We had to run that yesterday, so we'll have to keep an eye. And coming into tonight's race in Mid-Ohio, the Drivers' Championship, Francois Martel, 3-point lead over Sawyer Ragster, who won last week in Austin, Texas. Chris Wett sits in third, 6 points behind, and it is a duel for that points lead between those top 3. Dalton Lott sits in 4th, 2 points ahead of David Schofield. Kind of confused as to what's going on from the man from New Hampshire. David Schofield had some bad luck to begin this season. Josh Klug, who didn't race last week, falls to 6th. Brock Quinn 7th, Jared Lott 8th, Frank Klein, and Jess Rakowski rounding out the top 10. She's actually tied with Eli Sasak off graphic there. They have 68 points apiece. The Constructors' Championship, Woven by Toyota Factory Racing, 215 over Uneven Gaming Motorsport. Interestingly, Team Watson Racing and True North Esports only have 1 car each, and they're ahead of Sequential, who has 122, actually tied with True North, and then Pocket Sand Incorporated with Josh Klug in the 6th spot. Patriot Racing, Ascent Racing, Slapex, and 845 Subi, all individual teams for Frank Klein, Sasak, Robichaud, and DiGiacomo, respectively. And Justin, we were talking right before we came on about how this track is, or the schedule's being catering to different people at different times. And right now, Dalton Lott is fastest in qualifying.
He is, and actually Francois Martel just dethroned him.
Never mind.
As expected. Yeah, you're right. This schedule. Some people were kind of like, "Ooh, that's weird," and it seemed a bit weird because we threw in a few tracks that were actually picked by Woven. When we made this partnership, they had a few tracks on their checklist that they wanted to see in this schedule, and we made that happen and then some. We started pulling tracks actually from the real. So that's why we ran Circuit of the Americas last week. We're pulling tracks from the real schedule in GR Cup North America that's going on right now. So yeah, and each of these tracks, it seems one driver or the other is a little bit better. Like David Schofield now on the top with a 137.3, and he seems to be the fastest in practice today. So he might be our 4th different winner this year, which would just be unbelievable, Josh.
It happened in Rallycross in 2012, so to see the second series emulate the Rallycross series is pretty interesting on a stat basis. Schofield still fastest, Martel, Dalton, Lott. A couple of the next races we go to my home track, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's going to be a great race in a couple weeks, and then Road America. Both very interesting tracks for these cars. I think we're running the new version of Indianapolis, so you have the 2 long straightaways with a couple of tight corners and the long straightaways of Road America. I've been to both. Both are wonderful circuits, and haven't been here to Mid-Ohio. I'm excited for this race, so we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but certainly the next couple weeks, whole schedule looking great. I'm just looking through it again. Indianapolis, Road America, Laguna, Sonoma. Then we go to Japan at Okayama and Fuji. Justin, the first 3 races were great. It's getting better every week.
It does get better every week, and the drivers are learning a lot from each other in every session that they run together, and it shows on the track.
Sabian Ragster really quick, fastest, 137.0, 3/10 up.
Saw that too, almost in the 136s, and we've heard some whispers in the chat that there have been some 136 lap times here, and that's scaring some drivers tonight. So let's see if we see that tonight early on.
As Ragster 3/10 up, Schofield. I'm taking a look on my monitor at Josh Clogg. I think we're looking right internally on Sabian Ragster in the 91. Man from California won for the first time in Austin, Texas, and now we're back, looks like, on Josh Clogg in the 199. Behind him, Francois Martel. So the last 2 Rallycross Supercar champions in this race as well. So many different drivers, so many different disciplines, and everyone makes fun of me because there's no way I could race this car, Justin. Not at the pace that they're doing.
Sabian Ragster, I was actually inside with him, and he's around pushing it a little bit too hard there. And yeah, you know what? I'm actually not there with you. I would love to be down there racing in this car. I love it so much. It's so fun to drive. It's really squishy, but not super powerful. It's so satisfying when you hit the corner. They take the cornering pretty quickly off throttle. They're very fun to just. They're a balancing act. They really are. And I don't know. There's something about it. It puts a smile on your face when you drive them, even if they are, a bit on the slower end, but and lower on the power band. But you know what? Love being up here. Love watching these drivers. These guys are high class, high caliber, and they're putting on a show for us every week, Josh.
We ride on board through the chicane, Sabian Ragster in the 91. What you're saying is I have to open up applications for someone to join me up here. I got it. You didn't have to tell me that directly. Let's see. 7 minutes left, Justin.
Yeah. I'm so focused on some other things right now. Sorry about that. No, we're on board with Sabian Ragster as well. He's out on a warm-up lap, actually. He's not even... We're gonna see him round a corner and maybe start another one. He's gonna try and fight for a 136. He wants to put it up there.
Off the road in front of him is Jacob Krask.
Yep, and he's dodges some traffic. That's one of those pain points with an open open qualifying session like that.
Has 15 minutes, still half of it left to go, and I'm just flicking through trying to see I think Martel is on a faster lap in the 12. Let's see what the French Canadian can do on his 4th lap. He's 0.6 of a second down on Ragster in the 91, crossing the start-finish line. 1 minute 37.125. He improves
on the door.
A 10th left, and then he is pushing beyond what this car. Wow.
He's knocking on it right behind him.
As I'm just trying to find Clog on a lap as well, I do believe, heading down where they normally start the race here at Mid-Ohio. Crossing the start-finish line. Looked like that was Schofield. Here comes Brock Quinn across the line. Schofield's beginning a lap. Quinn was beginning a lap. Taking a look at Schofield still in the 27. I'm trying to find Josh Clog on his lap. Martel has abandoned his lap, so Clog, I think, on a flyer, rounding the final couple of corners, as just hitting 5 minutes left to go in this qualifying session.
And drivers are kind of spread out right now, so there's not too many holdups at the moment. It's a very clean open session at the moment. Couple guys down in the pits.
Clog beginning a lap as he was on a warm-up, just trying to find and see if anyone can improve on this lap that Ragster set. I think Francois is about to start another flying lap.
And that 137 flat was the fastest time set in practice, so you know that's going to be a tough track or a tough time to beat. So these drivers are going to need perfection from their laps in the next few minutes if they want to get something to dethrone Xavier Ragster right now.
Final couple of corners to begin a lap down to turn 1 now. Francois Martel. Will this be one of the final attempts at pole position here in Mid-Ohio? Right behind him is Sabian Ragster, so we might see a 1-2 punch from these guys. We still have 4 minutes left, but I've noticed, Justin, you've got a flyer, you get a cool down, and you get another flyer. I don't think you can do 2 flyers back to back. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's hard to say why the drivers are getting out. Maybe they do prefer a fresh run on this. Maybe they're just not feeling it.
I think Clog's pushing.
Oh, got a driver on the inside.
Clog was pushing super hard. I was looking off monitor. He was committed and all over the track on corner exit midway through the lap. He's going to be rounding the final set of corners here. I'm not sure if that is a flying lap for the man from Maryland. Keeping an eye also on Martel and Ragster. Clog crosses the start-finish line. 1 minute 38.5. Wow, way down compared to his fastest lap. So maybe he's going to try two flyers in a row. Where is Martel versus Ragster? Martel made a mistake, Justin.
Oh, he's off into the sand. And that's not a mistake you want to make this far. He probably has one more attempt left if he's lucky, so he needs to get back out there quickly if he wants to.
He needs to make sure he has the momentum off the final corner. Ragster will cross the line. Will he improve on his fastest time? That I think might have gotten an off track. This might be now the run for pole. And I know how Martel got it. He hooked the right rear ever so slightly on the dirt, and the car wouldn't turn.
Sabian Ragster using every last ounce of the track out there. Look at him just riding those curbs to perfection at the moment. And he's on a mission. He wants to be that
the track in front of him.
In the way of
Rakowski's off the track in front.
Very close. Very close.
Brock Quinn is spun behind them. And the race hasn't even begun yet. Just keep everyone in mind here. But qualifying super important, especially here at Mid-Ohio. There's only really a couple places to pass. And that could have been game over for Ragster if Martel were to go quicker, Justin.
Oh, yes. And like you said, not a lot of places to pass for sure. There's a lot of really fast sweeping corners, a couple over a hill, down a dip. This track's sure to get your gut wrenched if you're in VR, those dips. I haven't had the pleasure of getting down on track on this one in the car yet. But I can feel it in the pit of my stomach just watching the drivers go down those beautiful dips. And such a nice course here in Mid-Ohio, and very fun to watch. Excited to see how these drivers treat each other tonight.
Final set of corners in qualifying for Savian Ragster. Absolutely, like you said earlier, using every bit of the road and then some. Martel on his last flying lap as well. Ragster will come off the final corner. Will the man from California improve and hold pole position? 1 minute 37.4. He does not improve. Crossing the line. Francois Martel, 1 minute 37.4. He does not improve.
Almost identical lap time to Savian that last time around. Just 1/100ths off.
Schofield crosses the line. Sorry, Justin. 1 minute 37.3.
Oh.
Wets across the line. 37.8. That might be it. Maybe clog. Maybe clog, Justin. But I don't know. I don't see any timing on my internal monitor to see what he's doing.
He's out there and he's got time, and he looks to be on a pretty hard lap at the moment.
Oh, he was on the throttle way early in that corner. Car super
using all of the track.
I think there were tire marks on corner exit. Picked it up a bit too much. Clog pushing super hard.
Really tight line in there.
Dalton Lott heads to the pit lane, get out of the way of the 199. This is going to be the last lap in qualifying. Clog, the man from Maryland, across the line. 1 minute 37.7. That looks like if did Martel get another lap, Justin?
It's very possible. It looks like there's enough time in here to maybe get one more after this if he can cross the line fast enough and stay out there on a clean lap. Let's see what he has in the tank. He's coming out here to the end.
Rotates in the final corner. He's going to be out of this qualifying session.
Pops it down into the pits and safely off the track. Martel coming around the final corner.
He is absolutely pushing Martel at the line. 1 minute 37.267. Schofield will cross the line. Where will he go? The man from New Hampshire. P3 currently 37.199.
Wow, in the ones as well.
This top three is going to be a show.
Oh, it's going to be electric. Clog is right there too, and Wet's not far behind.
5 cars under a blanket over 45 minutes.
Oh boy.
If you'd like to join NASASimRacing.com, be sure to like and subscribe on the Automotive Sports Network, because Justin Robichaud, we got a minute until we grid, and this race is going to be spicy.
Oh my goodness. The top 6 are all in the 137s, Josh. We've got 6 drivers in a 1 second bracket. It's going to be lights out. I see 3 battles forming just from the lap times posted in qualifying here. And these drivers already historically driving so clean together, and I'm excited to see what they put down.
15 drivers getting ready to take part here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Make that 14, because I think we have lost Eli Sasak in car number 9.
And we actually hope he's safe. He actually told us in the chat he's under tornado watch. So
best wishes.
I hope Eli's safe. If seeing him drop off the server is, I hope he just lost internet. But if you're tuned in, Eli, hope you're good. Hope you are good. Maybe ping us in Discord too. Let us know everything's all good.
14 drivers. We'll take a look at our starting grid here. The 14 drivers, the last driver just doesn't work, Bryan. Savian Ragster on pole position. Francois Martel alongside him. They are separated by 1/10 of a second. David Schofield, Josh Clog on the second row of the grid. Chris Wetz and Dalton Lott in the third row. Row 4, Jess Rakowski, Brock Quinn. Row 5, Jared Lott, Edwin Webb. Frank Klein, JP Ramos, Jake Robichaud, and Jacob Krask is our 14-car grid. And thanks for joining us. Of course, we haven't even gotten rolling yet, but this is going to be a fantastic race here in Mid-Ohio. Josh Mertz, Justin Robichaud, Bryan Sawyer, bringing you the action for the Automotive Sports Network this evening. And this race, this track, Mid-Ohio, here in Lexington, absolutely fantastic. So many different forms of racing, Justin, take place here. Don't mention Rallycross to either one of us, because we'll get a little sad because we don't have the track that raced here, but it is what it is.
No, the Rallycross scene definitely needs a lot more love. We need a ton more tracks. That European circuit needs to get added quick. If anybody's watching and you've got pole, let's go. But no, tonight it's all GR86, all Toyota. This car is so fun to watch, and I'm really excited for this race, Josh.
As Ragster Martel on the front row, and we await for Clog, Krask to jump on grid, and that will give us our 14 cars here this evening. As a reminder, coverage brought to you in association, words are hard, with Woven by Toyota. Mobility to love, safety to live. For more information, visit woven.toyota today. Coverage also brought to you by NordVPN for up to 63% off a 2-year plan. Visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And the cameras provided by TrekCams22 for the entire season. As we roll in Lexington, Ohio, 45 minutes. Pit stop at some point. And Sabian Ragster, Francois Martel on the front row. Potentially round number 2 of their duel that they had in Austin, Texas. We round the final couple of corners as we get ready to go green in Lexington, Ohio. Green flag. Off the line. Claw got a great surge from 4th on the grid, side by side. It's Ragster and Martel. Here comes one of the Lott brothers. It's the 45 of Dalton down to the first corner, side by side. Ragster hits the curb. Does he wash out? No. Car width between them. Clog in 3rd by himself. Then it's Schofield and Wetz in P5. We're still side by side through the chicane. Normally it's straight to the keyhole, but no. Right, left, right. Into the hairpin in turn number 2. Ragster misses the apex, maybe gives himself a little bit of a wider exit, I should say. Clog looking to the inside. Will we get the slipstream down the back straightaway? Schofield's got it, pulling on Clog. Then it's Wetz, Lott, Rakowski, Jared Lott, Brock Quinn, Klein, Webb, Ramos, Robichaud, and Krask. Down to the turn 7. One of the best spots, I should say, to overtake Martel. Inside of Clog goes Schofield, and Clog off the road in the 199. Will he come back in traffic? Into Wetz in the 71, and around goes Lott in the 45, and Wetz and Clog now have to start from the back, basically, Justin. Not what they want to see, but the battle for the lead. Martel got by Ragster.
Yeah, and David Schofield, you kind of wonder if he's getting a little sick and tired of being bumped around in the first couple turns in the first laps, because he seemed to just go for it really quickly, like some other drivers have done to him. And Josh Clog and Chris Wetz are just unfortunate victims of that.
Brock Quinn and Rakowski battling side by side. Martel got a little loose in that penultimate corner there in turn 14. Ragster car length behind them. Right
there on him. He smells an opportunity.
Looks to the inside, thinks better of it. I know we're only 1 lap in, but with Wetz and Clog and Schofield having that schmozzle, it's put Rakowski and Quinn battling for 5th, so we'll watch that develop all evening long. Ragster, like you mentioned, looking for an opening, and we talked last week. Why are you talking this soon? 1 lap in, it doesn't matter. This race is intense from the green flag.
Absolutely, and Sabian Ragster he's a kart racer, very smart driver. Again, another driver I'll say that has a very high racing IQ. He's not really trying to make moves, I don't think. Like I said, he's just peeking out to see find his braking zone. He wants to mentally grab his braking marker if he doesn't have it off track or if it's being blocked by the car. So he's just peeking out, and it has an added benefit of kind of spooking the driver a little bit and making it seem like you're making a move, but. He's hanging on to Francois Martel right now, and so is David Schofield. He's right there. All the 3 of these drivers just in a line, chasing each other down, waiting for an opportunity, Josh.
Martel made a little bit of a mistake, and I believe it was turn number 8. Turned in a bit too soon, had to correct the car. He's still holding off Sabian Ragster. Schofield in 3rd, Lott. I was looking at the battle for 5th while you were talking about this battle. Brock Quinn went off the road in turn number 5, so remove him from the 6th position, drop him to 9th. And this top 3 beginning to break away. Martel, Ragster, Schofield. Dalton, Lott, Rakowski in 5th. 137.6 for Martel, 137.9 for Ragster. Schofield, 137.3, all within 0.6 of a second, but Schofield the fastest out of these 3, Justin.
Yeah, and they're really just clinging on to each other. There's not much movement. The lap times are very, very similar, a few tenths apart. David Schofield a bit faster, the 3. No, this is exciting. And like I said, a few drivers here who are very, very smart. They're not going to make any rash decision. Well, I mean, David Schofield, but like I said, I think there's a bit of desperation there from his mishaps in the early races last few rounds. But right now they're locked in. Could come down to strategy even. I suspect you could see a pass even through a pit stop, Josh.
As Martell car complained under braking, I should say. Ragster all over. As we also have a battle with Rakowski and Klein. That's for the 5th spot. And Dalton Lott running his own little lonely race in 4th. He's got battles all around him. Martell, Ragster, Schofield. As we we're bringing this back. My favorite camera. Martell off the track, guys! In the 12. I was just about to talk about the dual box. Here comes Ragster. And Ragster to the race lead. Martell loses second to his Schofield. Contact between them and around. Martell, the points leader, goes.
Takes himself down.
Let's take another look. I missed the original off track because I was rambling there. Apologies there. As we're going to roll it back and see. It looked like over rotation on corner exit got a little loose.
Yeah, he drifted off a bit, and I was about to mention that, Josh. There's a lot of dips entering some of these corners, so the car just easily unsettled. I wonder if he just maybe hit one of those dips or floated the car a little bit too much and floated the corner, but went super wide out into the grass and tried to come in back. Just taps him on the inside in the rear quarter and takes himself down.
That could have ended in multiple different ways. And Francois Martel, one of the cleanest guys to race in NASA sim racing, rather take himself out than take a fellow competitor out. And I hate to compliment an accident, but that's what we'd like to see instead of other guys getting wadded up. So bravo, Francois Martel, even if it is unfortunate circumstances. Thank you. He's now in the 8th spot, behind Brock Quinn, but in front of Chris Wetz. And now, if you're Sabian Ragster, of course, we're only 5 minutes in, but your field has thinned basically down to one guy, and it's David Schofield. So what's, as we look at the battle between Rakowski and Klein, what's your thoughts kind of this early in the race if you were in Ragster's shoes?
Well, Ragster just needs to not look in his rearview mirror at all. David Schofield is a very quick driver, and he's going to stick there, and he's going to play the games with you, and he'll drive right to the end. And to be honest, David Schofield's the kind of guy that might actually rather just beat you in the pit box. So I suspect one of these drivers maybe to dip out earlier than the other just to get a bit of clean air for a few minutes and refocus. But other than that, expect these two to just follow along. Unless, we get some mistakes, you never know.
So now Dalton Lott sits in the 3rd spot. Rakowski 4th, Klein 5th, Edwin Webb in 6th, Brock Quinn in 7th. Wetz, Ramos, what happened? Did we lose Martel? Or did he just disappear off my monitor? Where did he go?
Still in there.
He disappeared off my monitor for the moment.
Yeah, he's filed in behind Brock Quinn right now and just kind of hunting back.
Now I see him. I was flicking through the field and he was gone, and I was like, oh no, is it gone from bad to worse? We have the 2 factory cars in front of him, Edwin Webb, Brock Quinn. They're battling for the 6th spot. Quinn looking to the inside. Expert of slipstream, we remember from Sebring. Runs the inside down to turn 7. Through turn 8, 9, 10. Such a flowing sector here in Mid-Ohio. And it's rewarding when you get it right, but it's easy to get wrong, as we've seen. Ragster, I almost thought was going off the track. I'm just flicking through, taking a look at the race lead. That has not changed. Ragster, Schofield, top 2. Martel now on the rear wing of Edwin Webb in the 818 is the 12. Looking for a way around. You don't want to get held up too long as we ride on board the 12, Justin. Contact moves Edwin Webb.
Edwin just comes in slow in the corner and
Schofield fastest lap 37.2. It looks like Edwin, he broke super early. I don't think Francois was expecting it.
No.
Just different speeds, and that's also an issue when you get stuck back in the pack, Justin.
It is, and you got drivers that are a second apart on a track. It makes a difference, especially if it's a second or like multiple tenths in one corner, like that could have been. Yeah, just unfortunate when a mistake like that kind of costs another driver. But
I'm taking a look. Martel's not going 100% now. It's almost like he had a slowdown. So he is dropping further down the order. Clog is stuck behind JP Ramos for the 9th spot. I think he's gotten by. And the gap at the race lead is half a second, as Schofield set the fastest lap last time around.
Yeah, he's making that move now, and he's clawing back. And I was also thinking he wasn't racing 100% either. It's you kind of wonder if there's a bit of damage there, but JP gives up that spot. Actually knows he's maybe a bit quicker, and lets him get on his merry way. Now he's sitting behind Wetz, who's chasing down Brock Quinn at the moment. So those two drivers just looking to claw themselves back out of a bit of a mishap they got in earlier.
As 17 seconds, 18 seconds off the lead is Chris Wetz, and 22 and a half is Josh Clog off of Sabian Ragster. So super far down the order. And with the way these races go, you make one mistake or you get involved in one issue, and it pretty much ruins your race, I'd say. But still, damage limitation for those two at the top of the table, trying their best at least. Ragster and Schofield both ran a 37.5, Justin.
Unbelievable. And Schofield is actually he's a little bit quicker than Sabian Ragster on the best, and they're putting up almost identical. Oh,
contact as we take a look.
Contact, yeah, near the end.
Edwin Webb and Jared Lott will take another look. Apologies for missing it, but luckily Bryan caught it and pointed it out. What happened? We might have went a pinch too far. It looks like, I'm not sure what we're looking at. As let's roll it back. Is that
there it
Jared?
Is. We're rolling it here. Yeah.
Jared Lott did the same thing.
Clips the grass. While braking. Yep.
And
so easy to do. Ooh, and
Martel
Wall went by right there again.
Was that? Did he get into Webb
That's
again?
Another Woven Planet driver.
He hit Webb again.
He did.
In the same
exact
corner.
Kind of scenario. Oh, Webb actually gets loose in front of him. Locks it up a bit, so that explains the drastic speed scrubbing and the difference again. So that's another scenario.
So we take a look right now at Rakowski versus Dalton Lott. Rakowski has been quicker than Dalton Lott. So put the driver from Maryland potentially in the 3rd spot, and she runs a lot of these touring cars as well.
Loves the touring cars. We'd be running a supercar league, or the supercar league if it was her choice.
So
yeah, running a lot of these, and great to see her show up. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if she can hunt down a podium spot here. What a great finish for sequential that would be.
Especially Cody Erdman not here. Clog in the pit lane in the 199. He's taking tires, so I'm not sure. Maybe he's just trying something different. Or maybe he's just running it as a test session.
Maybe
I'm going to try and get an update. Ragster Schofield, that has not changed. Dalton Lott and Rakowski. So Rakowski was 2 tenths faster than Lott the last time around, but she has lost some time to the 45 in the 999. Frank Klein quietly in the 5th spot. Brock Quinn, Chris Wetz, JP Ramos, good run for him in the 64. Jared Lott and Francois Martel rounding out the top 10 so far. Unless Jared might be off the lead lap. My timing might be broken.
He would be off the lead lap. He is at the moment. David Schofield, 1/10 faster than Sabian that last lap. That is
4 tenths of a second between them, down to 3 tenths mid corner.
Closing that gap. Curious to see what the times are right here as they round the final corner.
Ragster crosses the line. 37.5 to a 37.3, 2 tenths up.
There you go. Another 2 tenths.
A little bit wider in the corner. Schofield to carry more momentum off of turn 1 into 2, 3, 4, and 5. The chicanes and the hairpin. It looks like Schofield carried more speed as well on corner entry. rounding the hairpin. And now, Justin, if you're Schofield, stay behind the 91, get the slipstream for a potential pass down into turn 7.
Absolutely. If you get an opportunity, take it. Absolutely take it. He's a little bit out of reach for the slipstream. I think at this moment he might be hitting a little bit of dirty air. But if he keeps clawing away 1/10, 2/10 here and there, I think he's just entering the slipstream here now.
Extra misses the apex just by a pinch.
Right, and you know what? I was just about to mention drivers complain that this car does get a bit understeery in that draft. The downforce removal kind of affects the way the car comes in. So something our drivers have to pay attention to when they're running behind a car like that at high speeds, especially with these very quick, bumpy, high-speed corners here at Mid-Ohio.
As we ride on board Schofield on the left, and we take a look at the battle on the right. Beautiful camera work from Justin Robichaud and Bryan Sawyer as we watch Schofield try and hunt down last week's winner, Sabian Ragster, in car number 91. Reminder, with Martell down the order, Ragster's looking really good to take over the points lead.
I'm going to go to the right.
Exiting Mid-Ohio. Sorry there, Jacob Krask. Just letting everybody know, to pass him on the right, or letting them by on the right, I should say. Ragster committed, clobbering the curb in turn 1. We look back now at Schofield. Last time around, Justin, look at the lap times last time around. Identical, 1:37.616 for both of them.
Wow. Wow, and David Schofield is right just on the edge of that slipstream, and he's going to get a good chance at it here. We'll see if he gets any closer in that gap and maybe make a move here.
I'm taking a look off monitor. Jess Rakowski has made a mistake in the 999. She ran off the track in the same corner Martell did. She goes down to 6th spot in the 999.
Yeah, put Brock Quinn and Frank Klein ahead of her, and Frank Klein is now leading this pack for 4th place and just trailing behind Dalton Lott, who's pretty comfortable in 3rd place right now ahead of them.
As Wetz in 7th, Martell in 9th, Clog 12th, having some rough days in those respective cars. Martell, champion in supercars, Josh Clog last season, and we take a look at the battle for the lead still between Ragster and Schofield.
We can bring up the battle for 4th as well if we want side by side. I'm on Frank Klein right now, and he's being chased down by Brock Quinn, and Jess Rakowski's just hanging on there.
I've told you guys 900 times that this is my favorite assortment that we have. Plenty of action.
Frank Klein's off the track.
Plenty of action. Klein goes off the track. Quinn, driver's lift. Can he make it stick in the 005?
And he does.
Wow. What a move.
Beautifully done. Very patient. Excellent use of a mistake.
And Wetz pits. He says, I'm not going to get caught in this traffic. Great strategy for the 71, the man from Texas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want to get caught behind these three. These three are fighting like it's the last race of the season.
Last lap of the last race.
Right.
Like always in NASA.
Frank Klein poising himself for another move on Brock Quinn here. He moves in deep into the chicanes.
Looking left, looking drivers right, trying to make something happen into turn 5. Can't. Door gets closed. But he is super close. We talk about the slipstream with Ragster and Schofield. This looks manageable, Justin, for Klein.
It does. He's tucked right in there, and he's moving out right now, I think, a bit too early, and he's just got to sit in here. He's going to get a nice little run. But Brock Quinn's a smart racer, and he's been taught.
Gaining, looking drivers left. Quinn defends. Down to turn 7. Who will be last of the late breakers battling for the 4th spot? Justin! Klein!
Does he get the cross?
Halfway completed it. Quinn looking, still holding it. Klein respectful between these two, and Klein takes the spot.
Yes, Brock Quinn just gives it out. Knows it's probably not worth the fight. He's going to just battle for another day. Kind of makes you wonder if one of these drivers will pit soon to maybe get some clean air. Jess Rakowski bridging the gap on Brock Quinn with these two battling, so maybe she'll Frank Klein around.
Saves it. So Rakowski might get her spots back. Klein has fully spun around. In the 33, Rakowski looking drivers left. Will she repeat what Quinn did the last time around? Rakowski to the inside, closes the door.
So close.
Quinn now looks drivers right. I'm so sorry, Justin. Can't give you a moment. Will Rakowski pit? She won't. This battle will rage on. Quinn surged mid-corner, loses the spot to Rakowski. 2 for 1 for the driver from Maryland.
Unbelievable. This is incredible. Both of these drivers are hungry for a podium spot, and they know if they can get this get this 4th place locked in. Maybe there's a chance with Dalton Lott. Maybe there's some drop-off later on. Who knows? There's a lot of incidents going on today, and if you're sitting in 4th and something happens in the top 3, you're sitting on a podium at that point. So these drivers just not giving anything up this at this point. We're just about halfway through.
As Jared Lott went to the pit lane, but we have lost the 37. That's our first retirement of the evening. If you're just joining us on the Automotive Sports Network, welcome to the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge. We're at Lexington in Ohio at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. It's myself, Josh Mertz, Justin Robichaud, Bryan, Sawyer, along for the ride as we have 26 minutes left to go. I don't want to have to do this, and I know I did it in an opposite order, but welcome to ASN. But welcome to watching our race, and then we have to step away for a horrible commercial break. So if we can bring up side by side, we'll be right back.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Take it on the inside, Bryan.
It's side by side, nearly 3 wide of Matt and Palacio. Front bumper of a Betty down to turn 2. Clog takes the lead. Real still has him jokered inside. Clog on McKenna. Contact between them. Well, Romain Rateau has led all evening long, but Schofield to the inside, and he makes it stick. Funny story about Bryan Sawyer. He showed up to the track 5 minutes ago with 0 practice, and each lap increasing in pace for the man from Wisconsin. Mertz deep on the brakes in the 812, clobbering the curve to get by Olivier Rateau. We welcome you back to round 4 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge with Bryan Sawyer on the production truck, Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. Just a reminder, our series is brought to you in association with Woven by Toyota, mobility to love, safety to live. For more information, visit woven.toyota today. Coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And finally, our cameras for the entire season provided by TrackCams22.com. Has crossed halfway. let's get a running order update here, Justin Robichaud. Sabian Ragster leads. They have been matching lap times, him and David Schofield for the first and second. Dalton Lott all by himself in third. Brock Quinn, Jess Rakowski, they are battling to the death for the fourth spot. Francois Martel in sixth now. JP Ramos pits. Chris Wetz is in seventh. Edwin Webb pits as well. So I'm trying to go through a field rundown, and we're still mid pit stop here, but just expecting Rakowski versus Quinn is getting good. And when will we get some strategy from the leaders?
Oh, that's what I'm curious about right now. Sabian Ragster, David Schofield, like basically all of the top 6 at this moment haven't taken their pits. Now, I think Francois Martel is sitting at 6 right now, but I don't think he's a physical 6 because there are some drivers behind him. But yeah, so the grid kind of shaken up at the moment with all the pit strategies, but that's kind of
Rakowski, sorry to cut you off. Looking to the inside on Brock Quinn, battle for fourth. Made a mistake earlier on, cashed in when Frank Klein had his spin, and they are side by side to the corner that they both made a move in a couple of moments ago. Quinn on driver's left. Rakowski holds the spot in the 999. Rounding 13, 14, and 15, the carousel down to the start-finish line. And this battle, let's take a look at lap times. Rakowski was a second slower on lap 14, crossing at lap 15, 39.7 to a 40.6. So Quinn made a mistake somewhere.
Must have.
In the battle for the lead, Ragster 37.7, Schofield 37.6. No movement there. Is Schofield just waiting for Ragster to potentially make a mistake, or just waiting till the very end to start pushing, you think?
I'm not sure what David's doing at the moment, but he's running awful close to Sabian Ragster, and I'm wondering if he's gonna go first. My gut at this point, he's just clawing away. My gut says he's gonna pit soon, and he's gonna pit before Sabian, and then he's gonna try to use the clean air that he gets when he comes out. Well, actually, one thing we haven't considered, Josh, is the gap when they go backwards. Do they come out in traffic?
Another thing is Schofield with the slipstream that he's just chilling behind Ragster. You don't think of it this way, but he's saving fuel.
Oh, this is true too, using that slipstream. If he's not making a move and not being really aggressive and he uses that to lift, absolutely, he's saving fuel. And if he can pit earlier but have saved fuel, that's just less that he has to take, and it's a little less weight later on. So.
Battle for fourth still raging on between Rakowski and Quinn. We look on monitor back at Quinn and Rakowski. I know we were taking a look at the battle for the race lead. These two kind of simmered down. Quinn was on the rear wing of the 999. Rakowski locks up in 14. Misses the apex slightly and tries to pull away. The gap is about 0.7 of a second between these two. And when will we see pit stops is the main question for these top two. I don't think Dalton has pitted in the 45 either. I could be mistaken with the
Dalton
45.
hasn't pitted either. No one in the top 6 has at the moment.
Rakowski, Quinn, Martel 6th, Wet 7th, Clogan 8th, Klein, Robichaud, Webb, Ramos, Jacob Kraskin 13th. Only one retirement, Jared Lott in the 37. Came across the Discord chat and said skill issues in this race. Not sure. Couple of incidents. But now they're going to come up on JP Ramos, Ragster, and Schofield will. Is it a repeat of last week?
Oh, I really hope not. We did go over this in the drivers' meeting because of issues we had last week with it. So I'm hoping drivers will be a lot more aware tonight. But that is going to be something to watch.
The Schofield pit. Ragster pits.
Ragster pits first. Okay.
That's a pretty high IQ move because Schofield's going to be caught behind Ramos now. So any potential gap that he can gain is going to be non-existent, really.
And not only that, he's kind of giving David Schofield what's my wording here? Words are hard, NASA. David Schofield had the benefit of running in that draft and saving some fuel, like we mentioned earlier. So Sabian Ragster pitting early kind of slights that little perk out of
Ragster comes
David
out.
Schofield, and here he
Not
comes.
to cut you off, sorry. He comes out behind Dalton Lott. So Dalton Lott now in second in turn 5. Ragster got out in front of Rakowski, who is barely in front of Quinn in the 005. And trying to keep an eye on when Schofield will respond. Will we see a pit stop or will he run it long? Meanwhile, Quinn versus Rakowski down the back straightaway to turn 7. Will we see another move, Justin?
I think he might. I think Brock Quinn is sick and tired of giving up corners to people, and I think he's gonna start hitting back soon. There's no way. Here he goes. He's
looking.
He's setting up.
Is he gonna make the move from this far back into turn 7? Rakowski leaves him room.
He's over-undering.
Rakowski tried to defend the second portion. They nearly come together. Schofield, by the way, has pitted. He will respond in the 27.
Brock Quinn cuts down in front of Jess Rakowski and takes that position away beautifully. Similar move that happened to him. Blows the corner here. No, using all of that track. Gets a great runoff. Excellent curb work.
Schofield has not gotten to his pit box yet. This is going to be have to be a quick stop for the 27 to take the lead. Lott has pitted as well in the 45. Keep an eye on Lott versus Rakowski and Quinn. Ragster off the final corner. Schofield drops the jack. Will they come out to... Ragster's going to have this. He's going to have the run off the corner, or down into the corner, I should say, and takes the lead.
Yeah, Dave... Wow. Huge difference on the pit time between David Schofield and Savian Ragster. David Schofield comes out almost 2 seconds down on that.
Rakowski pit in the battle with Quinn, trying to utilize the pit lane as well. Wetz cycles through. Martel did not pit until now, so Martel wasn't there on merit. Clog already pitted, so I think the field's finally going to become unglued. Ramos off the track, just flicking through the field.
Pretty much
he has no cars near him.
Brock Quinn and Jake Robichaud, the only two that have not pitted yet.
I suspect Quinn's going to pit to respond to Rakowski this lap. That would be the best thing to do for the 005. And keep an eye on Rakowski's outlap in the 999. Looked a little slow through turn 5.
Yeah, Clog just took a position on Francois Martel seemingly pretty easily, and the gap is quite wide now at the moment. Not sure what happened there, but either Francois Martel's feeling some damage or he's getting out of focus. But these two drivers, Josh Clog up to a P7 after seemingly starting the race from last, though. So very impressive drive from him at the moment. Very much like David Schofield in week 1. Basically the favor returned.
Ragster leads ahead of Schofield. Brock Quinn yet to pit. That puts Wetz in 3rd. What?
It does.
Has Wetz pitted yet?
He has, actually, and when Brock Quinn goes off, that's going to concede that spot to him. What an excellent drive back. I mean, we're just talking about Josh Clog being in 7. Let's talk about Chris Wetz coming into 3rd.
Wow!
3rd.
Quinn has pitted. Let's keep an eye on Rakowski in the 999. I cannot get over this recovery drive for Chris Wetz. He's going to cross the line. It should filter him to 4th and then filter him to 3rd once he gets by Quinn. I take a look internally just to be sure. Am I blind? I am not. Chris Wetz goes to 3rd. Dropping the jack was Quinn in the 005. Here comes Rakowski. Quinn looks like he will comfortably hold the spot over Rakowski for the 5th spot.
Very much comfortably. He's got a very nice little gap going on there now, so he can just focus on his laps and not worry too much about his rearview mirror. At least that would be the smart thing to do. Field's pretty spread out at the moment, though. Savian Ragster commanding league over David Schofield.
Great runs, obviously, for Savian leading this race. Chris Wetz sits in 3rd. Not a good day for Martel and Clog. So really, half the top 6 having a good day, half the top 6 having a terrible day.
Yeah, and it's those interchanging drivers now. So Savian Ragster, like his race to lose at this point. He's going to become the first back-to-back driver, winning driver here in this series if he continues this. Unless David Schofield has something to say about that here soon. Lap times, same thing. David Schofield running about a 10th quicker. That last run around, or sorry, nope. David Schofield had a 2:01. He was on his out lap from pit. I want to see this new set here.
Ragster 37.5
and at 37.4, 10th quicker again. That seems to be the trend with him. If he can claw this away, there's still plenty of time.
And we learned in qualifying when I thought there were 4 minutes. Oh, blue flags for Jake Robichaud in the 69. Ragster called it out. He knows he doesn't want to get caught in any traffic.
Yep. And he gives the outside a
moves
little
out of
bit
the
too
way.
far, actually. Goes out into the dirt, but
way off the road.
I'm
Overly
not getting hit
cautious.
by that blue flag.
Ragster
Yep.
Schofield. Gap 1.3. 1.3.
Sorry, I couldn't find my column.
Robichaud just taking a look. Wetz in third. Lott in fourth. Fifth. Quinn versus Rakowski. I can't get over the recovery that Wetz has had. So Martel having a bad day. Clog having a bad day.
Yeah, and actually, Francois Martel is locked in and trying to come bring the fight back to Josh.
Every point matters. Clog runs it a little wide in turn 5. We talk about in the rallycross side of things, every point matters in heat races or positions, and especially here.
Especially after how you've been treated in lap 1. You know you've got to be clawing back here at this point.
We ride on board Francois, car number 12, the French-Canadian for Team Watson Racing, currently in the 8th position. Down to turn 7, excuse me, trying to make a move on Josh Clog in the 199, the man from Maryland. These two dueled all season in rallycross and dueling all season here so far. Car length between them, maybe make it 1.5. Haven't missed anything up front. Actually, the only thing that we have missed is Schofield 0.6 of a second faster than Ragster the last time around, and they're coming up to JP Ramos again. As we look also at Clog versus Martel.
Come on, guys, get in front.
So
yeah,
Ramos
I think there was
came
a
over the
mistake there
scanner
from
for
Sabian
something.
Ragster. Yeah, his last lap was a 1:37.8, so he must have made one small mistake, but that puts 0.6 on that gap. That's a healthy margin coming in with about 9.5 minutes left in the race.
Bryan internally is making fun of me because I'm saying OMG Wetz, but let me tell you, he was off the road on lap number 1 and spun around, so the recovery is crazy. This battle is getting incredibly spicy for 7th. Martel all over the track trying to find a way around Clog in the 199. Gap is 0.7 of a second for the race lead. Off the road goes Martel. Jacob Krask nearly spun into Chris Wetz as Wetz was getting by in the 71. And now the gap is fizzled out. The battle, I should say, between Clog and Martel has fizzled out here. Just under 9 minutes left. Back up front, 0.75 of a second is the gap between Ragster and Schofield. Ebbed and flowed all evening long here in Mid-Ohio. 0.3 again, Justin, was taken out of Ragster by Schofield.
It's chewing away. He's taking a small little bite every single lap, and he's just getting back into that slipstream again. He can sit there for a couple laps and use that to his advantage. He can set up a couple moves here late in the race. There's plenty of time. I've got 5 laps by my count, maybe 4.
Estimation looking at 5.
Yeah, 5 is what I would say. So that's a lot of time. This track, this straightaway they're on right now, he's gonna bridge that a little bit here again.
Down the straightaway, getting the slipstream. We haven't missed anything in the rest of the field.
No,
just taking a look, everything looks like it's calmed down for the most part. We still focus on our leaders. Sabian Ragster, Schofield. The gap is under 0.4 or under half a second, fluctuating at 0.4 of a second. It is on
right
for the
there.
race lead.
It's right there. And David Schofield, he's the fast lap holder right now, so he's definitely looking to make that 1-2 punch. He doesn't just want that extra bonus point, Josh. He wants P1 points. You know he does, and he's hungry. And he's gonna make a move.
A 10th up in Sector 1. We'll see if we can get an update for Sector 2. He was a 10th up in Sector 2. It is coming together for the man from New Hampshire. Just over 7 minutes. Ragster a little bit wide almost, trying to take the wider or the later apex.
Wants a bit of a run here for this final corner. Using
As we
fire
cross
that track.
Will we see some defensive driving start for the man from California? Down to the first corner, car length between Sabian Ragster and David Schofield.
You have to. David Schofield's 0.3 quicker on that last lap again, so he has to start driving defensively now. You're going to see some moves. He's going to give him a little bit of room. It is absolutely desperation mode at the moment.
On board, Ragster pushing so hard on the ragged edge, trying to defend, as we still ride on board Schofield in the 27. He's 0.3 of a second, 3.5 behind. It might be a little bit too far to get the slipstream and make a move on this occasion, but I think this is going to be the best opportunity unless he is all over the rear wing throughout the lap, Justin. Gaining. Will he take? No, he won't.
No, he's biding his time. He's not going to be too rash too quickly. Like I said, smart drivers here in these two, and no one's going to make any rash decisions this late in the race and ruin it for themselves or both of them, really.
All over. The gap is 0.2 of a second as we ride on board the roof camera of David Schofield, just peeking to the inside. Couldn't make anything happen there, do you think? He was looking.
He was taking a peek, and we're coming down the hill here. Very tight, using that slipstream again.
The right of 12, the left of 13, where we've seen so many passes. It's a passing opportunity if you're brave. And Ragster holds the gap.
Right in the carousel. Such a wonderful downhill corner.
4 laps to go as we ride on board, looking back at David Schofield from Sabian Ragster. The gap is 0.2 of a second, not missing anything throughout the field. This is the battle that we have. The only battle, and it is for the lead here in Mid-Ohio.
And every lap, David Schofield behind him is a 10th quicker, and he's looking on the outside, drawing himself a nice, smooth line.
The man from New Hampshire, one of the fastest guys here, we know this, made a mistake in Tsukuba, Japan on the first lap of that race. Had some issues last week, I do believe, in Austin, Texas, and trying to get back to the front, trying to become the 4th different driver in the 4 races of this championship to win, or will Ragster make it 2 in a row? 4.5 minutes left.
Either way, what an exciting storyline unfolding, and he smacks the curb a bit hard there, loses a bit of time.
Misses the apex by...
He's right there.
By about half a car width, he was off the apex, and you have to be inch perfect in these cars. Ragster, no gap between them now, Justin. Schofield looking for a way around. I know you said no rash decisions, but when you're so close to your competitor, you just have the urge to dive bomb.
Absolutely, and there is a point where desperation starts to become a bit more fruitful, and you start to engage those boosters in your mind, and you're holding back a lot of heart pounding in your throat. And you know, these two drivers right here are just, their hearts are pounding in their chest, and any mistake at this point, any loss of focus is a win for another driver at this point. When you're this close, you're balancing a football in these corners between these two drivers.
So for the first time in a while, the lap time, you read my mind. The gap has opened up. Ragster was a 10th faster, half a 10th faster than Schofield that last time around. So and is Schofield still biding his time? Much better through turn 5. Looks like he got bite mid-corner. Will this benefit him off the corner? Getting the slipstream like we talk about.
He's got a bit of a run here, and he's tucked in really nice into that slipstream.
Coming to 2 laps to go. Next time by. Just took 3 to go. Here in Mid-Ohio, Schofield gaining. This might be his best opportunity. No gap, 10th of a second between him. Still thinks better of it. Ragster locked up on the entry there. A little bit harder on the brakes in the 91.
He is. He's braking a little bit later. He's not giving David Schofield any opportunities to go into the inside and late brake him, because he knows if he brakes a little bit later and
rolls the car through the corner, Justin. He's so much better run than Ragster. Between these two, through 11, Thunder Valley, down Thunder Valley and up Thunder Valley, turn 12, turn 13.
Touching the grass is Sabian on the outside.
2 laps to go this time for Sabian Ragster and David Schofield. Nothing between them, and they've got 26 seconds till 3rd place Chris Wetz.
Unbelievable. Chris Wetz really just has to hang on, and he's got a podium spot. And I mean, there's a lot that can happen in just a couple laps here with a couple drivers. As they come through tight again.
4.8 miles. 2 laps to go here in Mid-Ohio. And Ragster was another 10th down on Schofield that last time around. Schofield's got to make something happen here. He's obviously running out of time. We've been calling it for the last couple laps.
Yeah, and Sabian doesn't look like he's racing incredibly aggressive, especially with this defensive driving. It's very smooth and very calm. He's laser focused here, and he's every lap, the last few laps have seemed identical. He's leaving nothing for David at all.
Schofield gaining again. Will we see a dive bomb opportunity or a clean pass? We'll have to see. Down to turn 7, peaks to the inside. The time is now. No, it's not.
No, Savian's just later on the brakes there, and he hits the curb. He's not afraid to smack that curb at all, Savian. He uses it to rotate the car. Like I said before, kart driver, so he's very used to a vehicle that's quite loose and stiff on the rear, and you really got to move your body weight around and smack curbs and hit really hard. Tight suspension on them too, so.
Through the S's to Thunder Valley.
Little bit. Once again.
Back up the hill of Thunder Valley to the final couple of corners before we begin the white flag, the final lap. Here in Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, Sabian Ragster trying to become the first repeat winner, go back-to-back in the history of the championship. David Schofield trying to become the 4th unique winner. It is over 2.4 miles, 15 corners, there between these two. They have been glued to each other all evening long. Ragster into turn 1, Schofield into turn 1. The gap, lap time-wise, was equal. They both ran 37.7 lap times through turn 1. Through 2, 3, 4, and 5, the chicane and the hairpin. And then one of the best passing opportunities for David Schofield. But he's got to get a good run through turn 5. Ragster runs wide. Schofield cuts down, tries to get the apex. This is a great run for Schofield. I can see it beginning down the straightaway through the kink of turn 6. And Justin, this is where you have to make something happen if you're Schofield.
It's all or nothing here, and it can't be a stupid move either. You can't force something that's not there, but...
Gaining, peeks out a little bit too soon. Driver's right. Ragster deep on the brakes.
Thank you.
Complaining. Side by side. Will Schofield go to the lead? Ragster sneaks to the inside. Contact between them. Still respectful. Both of them on the track. Schofield. I thought he was going off track. Oh, they're still going to be side by side.
All of the course side by side.
Through the S's. Can Schofield hang on? Can Ragster hang on? They're going to go through Thunder Valley side by side. Through turn 11.
Over the curbs.
Schofield is there. Down the hill. Up the hill. Ragster clears him. Schofield's got one last dive bomb into the carousel of 14, but it would be messy. Through
carousel
13.
Is not a great place to pass, Josh.
That's it. Schofield's going to try it, but that is it. A scintillating last lap battle. Sorry, Justin. Scintillating battle. Ragster, first time repeat winner, 2 in a row here in Mid-Ohio, ahead of David Schofield.
Unbelievable, Josh. I'm speechless. That was a battle for the ages and one for the history books.
That was incredible. Here in Mid-Ohio. Bryan roasted me because Chris Wetz is sitting 3rd in points or wherever, and I lost my mind over his recovery, but Chris Wetz, I'm ignoring what he's saying internally. Chris Wetz recovers for 3rd place after being turned around on the last lap. Dalton Lott P4. 5th is Brock Quinn. 6th is Rakowski. 7th Clog. 8th Martell. Looks like 9th will be Frank Klein and 10th Edwin Webb. Justin, it doesn't seem like I'm speechless, but I'm really speechless at that finish.
Wow. My heart rate was pumping. And that last lap, I felt like I was down there racing too, holding him off. That was something. That was something. And so clean. Little bit of contact, but you know what? That's to be expected on a final lap, as desperate as that. But wow. Wow, Josh.
As I'm going to try and bring in, let's see. So Wetz needs a couple minutes, so I'll tell you what. We'll bring in
P2.
We'll bring in David Schofield. You'll have a chat with him, and then hopefully Wetz is around for me, and then we'll go to Sabian. So David Schofield, Justin Robichaud, all yours.
David Schofield, what a drive tonight. What's going through your head after that race? It was a bit messy at the start. How you feeling?
Good to get on the podium after a few rough starts this season, and definitely my sincere apologies to Josh and Francois. I got a little bit loose on turn 6 and lap 1 and couldn't hold the inside, and just ended up couldn't give Josh enough room on the outside, and I thought I'd given Francois enough room on that very tight corner before the carousel, but just didn't work out. It's a shame for both of them. I mean, they're really good drivers, and I know they'll bounce back. So yeah, it was a good race. Other than that, Savian drove really, really well. Really challenged me. It was a lot of fun.
Of course, and we were clenching our jaw and just screaming here in the booth on the last lap. Were you trying deliberately to save a move till the very end, or were you just was Savian just holding you off and really just giving you nothing?
Well, it's a very difficult track to pass that. You know, you really got to try and plan your moves, maybe a couple corners in advance, unless you get a good run on the straight. So yeah, coming down to the wire here, the straight was really going to be my best chance. And yeah, we had a little bit of a touch there on the last lap, but yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that that gets you clenching in your seat. Well, David Schofield, what a drive today! Fantastic P2 finish. Anybody you want to thank?
Thanks to everybody who showed up in the race. Thanks to everyone at NASA, you and Josh Mertz, who I don't know if he is. I think he's here this week.
He is.
Yeah, and everybody in the booth, Bryan Sawyer for doing all our graphics. It's just a really great time to be out here racing with everyone.
Well, thanks so much, David, and great P2 and bask in this, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks. I'll see you guys.
Take care.
So Bryan Sawyer made fun of me because you spun around on lap 1 and then you came back to 3rd, but you were on the podium for the rest of the races. Bryan's just roasting me because that's what happens. But Chris Wetz, talk me through your race. You were all over the place and then you recovered that P3.
Yeah, I don't really know how I did it. Josh Claude got ran off at turn, whatever turn that is. I forgot the name of it, but he speared back on. He couldn't really do anything. I went back and watched the replay. It didn't look like he did anything wrong there, but I was surprised the car wasn't that bent, but I was still 3 or 4 tenths off. But I knew I was faster than Dalton Lott, even with the damage. I was taking a little bit off him, and I just had to pit early to undercut the 3 cars in front of me, and somehow it worked out.
I was so focused on the battle for the lead, I'm embarrassed to say I have no other questions for you. If Justin, you have anything for our third place man?
Oh, I mean, it must have been a pretty boring race near the end, but excellent drive. What was going through your head in that first little tussle? I know you kind of got spun there, but
as hard as the hit was, I thought my race was probably going to be over. I really didn't expect to be able to get back to 3rd. I thought maybe after the first lap, I thought maybe I'd get back to 5th, maybe, but I ran a whole bunch of qualifying laps and it worked out.
Hey, it showed today, Chris. Anybody you want to thank?
Just Underfunded Motorsports, NASA, Moving by Toyota. That's about all I got.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Have a great night and excellent race tonight.
Thanks.
And our man of the hour, we didn't get a fun little radio call, but Savian Ragster, our race winner, Justin Robichaud, all yours.
Hey, you didn't make us PG-13 tonight, Savian. Thanks for that. But
yeah, that's because I was panicking so hard. I was sweating. Sweat was pouring out of my eyeballs.
Yes. Tell me about those final couple laps with David Schofield literally breathing down your neck.
Oh my God. I don't know. He's so fast. I think the problem was when I was chasing Francois, I was killing my front tires, and I've never really driven behind someone for so long. And he was very fast, but I just killed my front tires. And the rest of the race, I was very front limited, which is different because COTA was such a rear limited circuit, and Mid Ohio is so front limited. I just could not get the freaking car to turn, and he was just eating me up. Like, I had a way better pit stop than him, and he just went away, and I was like, oh, I won't see him again. And then he caught me, and I was like, oh God.
Yeah, we were looking at it here. He you beat him on the pit stop almost by 2 seconds, actually.
Oh,
and
God.
he was just based on the lap times, he was just chewing away at it by like a 10th at a time, and just very patient. But excellent defensive. Like, were you trying to drive defensively, or one thing we noticed? I can't remember the turn now, but it was coming off the straightaway. You would seem to brake really late. Were you doing that to try to stop him from going up on the inside to get that switchback?
Yeah, so luckily my teammates and I practiced this quite a bit because we figured that turn 7, the turn after the really long straight, would be really the only overtaking opportunity. So we did a ton of testing with us to see if the inside's better or the outside's better. And we learned after doing it a bunch of times that the outside is a lot better to defend than the inside. It's actually a little bit faster, and you don't have to pinch your radius so much. So that's why I didn't shut the door at all. I was like, I'll just take my normal line and it'll be fine. The problem is I locked up the rear just a little bit and I had a big twitch at the end of the braking zone. So I went wide and then, just got all out of shape and the tires were just dead. A bit unfortunate. I think we had a very light contact, but for me it was a 0x. I actually finished the race with 0 incidents, so that was good, but it was intense. I was sweating
Wow.
bullets.
Yeah, you're actually the only driver to finish the race with 0 incident points other than Eli, who didn't even race at all. So yes,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's phenomenal. Yeah, there was a bit of contact there, but it was very minimal and still, in my opinion, for a last lap move, very clean. Savian, what a drive today! Just from start to finish, very laser focused, and after a drive from Coda like that, this is just massively impressive. You've also become the first driver to win 2 races in a row in the series, and that's done by a Woven by Toyota driver. So, very very great drive today. Very great
Thank
drive
you.
today.
Thank you so much. This was man, it was a great race. It was such a mental race to see that someone is catching you every lap and to do your best to just stay calm. But thank you guys for putting this on, and thank everyone back home at Woven by Toyota. It's been a good night.
Awesome. You actually answered my next question. I was going to ask who you wanted to thank. Well, thank you, Savian. Great race today. Go enjoy that win. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah. You have a good one.
Take care.
We'll take a look to confirm the results from tonight at Mid-Ohio after we take a look at the points. Savian Ragster, 175. Chris Wetz, 162. The team's championship's fixed, so that's exciting. Francois Martel falls to third from the lead. David Schofield, Dalton Lott, Clog, Quinn, Rakowski, Klein, and Jared Lott rounding out the top 10. Woven by Toyota Factory Racing, 299. Uneven Gaming Motorsport, 237. So beginning to stretch away as the factory team just a pinch. True North Esport and Team Watson Racing dueling. Remember, those are single car teams. Sequential SimSport, basically a single car team with Cody Erdman not appearing. So the team's championship shaken up just a pinch after tonight's race here in Mid-Ohio. Just a couple programming notes before we say goodnight on the Automotive Sports Network. Round 10 of NASA Rallycross Lights took place Sunday. We will see that this Saturday, August 26th, from the Sonoma Raceway in California. You'll join myself and Bryan Sawyer for that on ASN On Demand, 9 p.m. Eastern. The Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge in the off-season at the moment. We do have 2 open test races. Those are Monday, September 25th and Monday, October 2nd. First round of the 29th season will be the Scottish Grand Prix at Knockhill. That'll be October 9th. Our next round for the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge will be at the racing capital of the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That'll be Thursday, September 7th on ASN Live, 9 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Justin Robichaud, and Bryan Sawyer for that one. Just a reminder, our series is brought to you in association with Woven by Toyota. Mobility to love, safety to live. For more information, visit woven.toyota today. Our coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Finally, our cameras for the entire season are provided by TrackCams22.com. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network. And if you'd like to race, all the info is at nasasimracing.com. Crazy race this evening here in Lexington, Ohio. Justin Robichaud, give me a final thought, and then we'll say goodnight.
My final thought is one word, and it is wow. Wow. It's all I can say. I mean, this series, I say it every time we close, but it just gets better and better and better every week. And I can't wait for next round. Like David Schofield, there's 3 or 4 drivers that still haven't won a race yet that are poised to win a race if they can get through one without many incidents. There's so many drivers on track. It's easy to happen, but so excited to get beyond the halfway point. We're gonna hit the halfway point next round. So I mean, let's go. If it's gonna get better every week, we've got 6 more rounds. This is just unreal, Josh.
as you said the one word, and I think to myself, he's going to say wow, because I have to agree. Of course, you always want a last lap pass, right? That's super exciting. But for them to be, as we take a look really quick on monitor here, they were side by side for, let's call it 3/4 of a lap, an entire lap. If that's not, we're even going to pull it back and just do this right now as Bryan's just trying to fix stuff. The fact that we're side by side for 3/4 of a lap is incredible. They made contact, yes, but it was so slight. It was all so clean. And at the end of the day, we don't have a 4th consecutive new winner. We have the first repeat winner in series history. And again, it's appropriate that it is the factory car of Sabian Ragster. The checkered flag falls on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Philip Kraus, Cody Erdman, Victor Valley, Justin Robichaud, Jess Rakowski, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge. Congratulations to Sabian Ragster for 2 wins in a row, and be sure to join us for Saturday Night Lights in Sonoma. But until then, so long, everyone.